So over the last several days, we've witnessed EA open their closed beta and eventually close it after 3 days. And during that time period, you had quite a few gamers who have gotten a chance to actually play the beta, me not being one of them. But some of those gamers ended up leaking footage online, leaking a ton of footage online. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and go over everything that I've gathered, that I've witnessed, seen on TikTok, on YouTube, that was leaked from College Football 26. And then I'm gonna give my thoughts on what I feel like some of those things may be, as far as like abilities wise, and my opinion on some of the features. And then I'll also get into a content creator's stance on that beta. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Also, real quick, before I do get into it, let me mention that a lot of these things, a lot of these videos and images that were leaked, I won't be posting any of those in this video. Some creators have, and they haven't feared anything happening to their account. I do. So in the event that they do possibly start striking accounts or striking videos or trying to pull down videos, I'm gonna make sure I'm not one of those, and I keep my videos. So you may see some College Football 25 content playing in the background. I might even throw up the trailer for College Football 26, but what I won't do is picture any of the leaked content in this video. What I will say is anything that I speak on in this video, you can simply go on TikTok and look it up, or you can go on YouTube and look it up. It'll be out there for everybody to see. Now, with all that said and done, let me get right into it. One of the things we seen that was leaked was the dynamic lighting. We got a chance to finally see what that looks like in the game. And some people feel like it's a little too much, with a little too much shading, making it hard to see. Some people feel like it's just right. I'm one of those people who are kind of like in between. I can see how some users would feel like they're affected by it being so dim, but in all actuality, that's what it's like in real life. When those players are actually playing in those situations, it's a little dark in certain areas of those stadiums. But nonetheless, I thought it looked really good. Can they touch it up some? Maybe. But I'm not going to complain too much, because we've complained for years about getting dynamic lighting in the game, and we finally get a chance to get dynamic lighting. So it looked really good. Could be touched up a little bit, but nothing too major. They also leaked dynamic weather. When playing in the cold rain, you can see the water being kicked up as the players are running, and you can also see their breath from the cold temperatures. So it looks really good. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It looks very impressive, and I actually can't wait to see what all the other situations look like, and also the effects the dynamic weather is having. If they have the same situation as far as home field advantage is concerned, like they're implementing in Madden with that. They also demonstrated or previewed the dynamic substitution, which is a mechanic where you can sub in game instead of having to press the pause button to go make substitutions. You can do it on the fly. So all it is you press the button or whichever trigger it is to pull up that menu, and you make your substitution. And after that play is done, that player will come in, making it more seamless for players to get substitutions out the way. Whenever you're monitoring your wear and tear and you want to take a player out, or if you got a specific play that you want a certain player in the slot receiver position or on as the X receiver, whatever it may be, now they make substitutions that much more easy. Another on-field audible is the audible for stunts. They actually have images of what it looks like once that option is triggered and the stunts pop up. We don't fully know what all of it means yet until we get our hands on the game. But yes, stunts are officially actually in the game, and they did preview that in these leaks. Also, they leaked the new coaching adjustments for safeties, where you can alter the width and the depth of the safeties. So if you feel like coming out in a play that the safeties would be a little too close to the line for you, you can adjust the depth back for the safeties in the coaching adjustment. If you feel you want them to play a little closer to the sideline because you're facing an opponent who likes to throw a bunch of corner routes or things of that nature, you can adjust that as well. So that's a great new mechanic for them to add in the game. And then as far as new abilities are concerned, they had one of those abilities would be adrenaline, which is a mental ability specifically for recovering from wear and tear when off the field. You also have hothead, which is a composure slash mental ability. It has a positive and negative. Basically, if you have a great play, your composure will skyrocket. If you have a bad play, your composure will plummet. So it's one of those things you gotta be careful with. And then they have on time, which is a physical ability, which gives a boost on the accuracy when throwing before a receiver makes his cut on his route. That's gonna be a clutch ability right there. If you can acquire that ability, you can get that ball out of it. If you're facing off against an opponent who likes to blitz you to hell, that will come in clutch. Then they have ball security, which is a physical ability designed to improve the ball security from anywhere on the field, including from within the pocket. So this one seems like it can be not just a quarterback ability, but an ability for multiple players. We won't know more information about that until they do a full deep dive on that. They also have battering ram, which is a physical ability for powerful running backs, which affects the wear and tear of defenders upon impact with said player. So that can be a key ability for certain players. I wonder if that only applies to like big physical running backs, or if that can be something like the smaller backs can acquire too over time. We shall soon see here in the future. Then you have instinct, which is also a physical ability for defenders to react quicker to the run. And then after that, we have a list of archetypes for college football 26. As far as quarterback is concerned, they got backfield creator, pure runner, dual threat, pocket passer, and a lot of these, they're all self-explanatory. So dual threat, if you have a mobile quarterback and you have the dual threat, I'm pretty sure that's going to be dangerous as far as being able to scramble and get perfect accuracy off on certain passes, or just being able to get out of the pocket with these. You saw a lot of the backfield animations, or some of the backfield animations with the quarterback. I said animations, but I mean like ball carrier moves in the backfield with quarterbacks. So I imagine that plays a part in that too. Pocket passer, like I said, a lot of this is self-explanatory. You don't need me to explain it. You kind of get an idea of what these probably mean. There's been no deep dive on this, but looking at some of this stuff, you can kind of tell what it is. So like running back, you got elusive bruiser, you got north and south blocker, east and west playmaker, backfield threat, north-south receiver. So a lot of interesting traits, or should I say abilities for the running back. You got north and south blocker, which that sounds more of like a fullback ability to me, but it sounds like if you have that ability and you have that fullback in, or you have that specific running back in the game to block for you or lead block for you, that will be clutch. And then east-west playmaker, so that lets me know that's kind of like a Jahmyr Gibbs type effect. So if you have somebody who's shifty and got high agility or change of direction, that puts them on a whole nother level. Then you have north and south receiver. That lets me know, at least what it seems like to me, that player can just get out backfield and just go, and is a threat down the field. Going into receiver, we got elusive route runner, gritty possession, contested specialist, gadget, and route artist. Then as far as tight ends are concerned, you also have gritty possession there, physical route runner, possession, pure blocker. So I'm assuming like gritty possession for this end receiver would be like, okay, say for instance, like a Hines Ward, for instance. He wasn't a fast receiver. He wasn't like an elite receiver, but he was a physical, hard-nosed possession receiver. So he was going to make you feel him, pause, when he caught the ball, when running his routes and securing a catch. So I'm assuming that's what that means right there. And then we have O-line, which is raw strength, well-rounded, pass protector, and agile. Then on the defensive side, we have edge. You have speed rusher, edge setter, power rusher, physical freak. Now, what I think about edge setter is that's going to be a run stopping ability right there, which if you're going up against somebody who likes to run a bunch of stretch plays and you have somebody on the edge with edge setter, he's not going to let that guy get on the outside, or he's going to break past his opponent with ease. It's what that seems like to me. Physical freak, I'm assuming, would be more on the athletic end. Again, a lot of these we'll have to see and wait for when they do those deep dives. As far as defensive tackles are concerned, we have gap specialist, physical freak, power rusher, and speed rusher. Again, things that are self-explanatory. Linebacker has lurker, thumper, signal call, lurker sounds like it would be game changer for anybody who loves to use it a linebacker across the field. That you know what that means. Anybody who's been playing Madden for an eternity or playing college football games for a long time, most people like to control the linebacker or the middle linebacker specifically across the middle of the field, and they like to lurk. And I'm assuming that lurker will be that kind of game-changing ability for those linebackers. As far as cornerbacks are concerned, we have bump and run, field, zone, and boundary. Then for safeties, we have coverage specialists, box specialists, and hybrid. So what this sounds like to me is that you're going to have coverage specialists, which will be an ability for elite safeties, elite playmaking safeties that can cover sideline to sideline and won't let the ball get past them and constantly make plays on the ball. Box specialist sounds like an ability for safeties that are more run stoppers and do more in the box than out in coverage. So also things that were previewed, trophy room / award history, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to say that that's the actual trophy room, because if that's what they consider the trophy room, that's garbage. Unless that wasn't fully pictured, the picture that's floating around is just, it shows like award history, different years, different awards that were shown, but it doesn't show if there was actually a award room. If they false advertise the award room and this is what the trophy room is, then that's going to be really, really disappointing. But we shall soon see. That could just be award history. They could actually have the trophy room and just not put in there yet, or nobody just pictured it yet. Then they also have coaching and recruiting screens. Those leaked and they look very similar to last year in College Football 25. But something Kirk had mentioned in his recent review over playing College Football 26 and Madden 26, he mentioned that the build that everybody was playing through the beta is an older build. So the build that he played when he actually went down to EA's headquarters to play was nothing like that. And there was way more to it than that. So I'm hoping that the overlay doesn't look like that, doesn't look exactly the same, and that it is much different, and that there's much more stuff that wasn't visualized that was added to Dynasty and other things. Because as far as what I've seen from people leaking their footage, Dynasty looks pretty much exactly the same outside of some small things. Also, they showed the new gear for coaches. You got a bunch of different options for coaches. You have a bunch of different pants. You got a bunch of different tops, sweaters, joggers, you name it, all kinds of different gear for the coaches. It was much needed, but not necessarily a make or break thing that was needed. But it was good to see that. But one of the bigger things that I saw was new equipment. And why I say that's one of the bigger things is because I'm hoping that the same equipment that they're putting in College Football 26 is the same equipment that they're putting in Madden 26. Because one thing that they implemented in College Football 26 is one thing that I've been pounding the table for Madden to implement in the game for years, because players have been accessorizing like this for God knows how long. But that's the multiple wristbands or armbands. So on Madden, you can only put like 2 armbands. You could put one on your forearm, you could put one on your elbow. That's about it. But when you look at college ball and some of the players in the NFL, they wear multiple. They wear like 4 of them on their arm. And now you can do that in College Football 26. And I hope that translates over to Madden as well. They also had calf sleeves, leg sleeves, pockets on the front of jerseys for cold weather games, back plates with decals, etc. They had a bunch of new equipment, but not everything was visualized. So again, we'll know more soon once we see more deep dives and or once we get our hands on the game. They also had the new intros. They debuted from certain teams like LSU and Alabama and Florida State and things of that nature. You also had new position stances for QBs. They had stance and style for under the center for gun, running, and things of that nature. For running backs, they had the running back stance. You could choose your stance, whether you want to stand up like Ashton Genty, hands on the knees like a typical running back. They have multiple different options. Wide receivers too. And one thing that I liked about what I have seen, I didn't necessarily see anybody post it for receiver, but I believe they should have the same option. But they have running style for quarterbacks as well, and different kind of running styles like sprinter, things of that nature. So it's good to see them finally implementing some signature styles for players and a variety of different things that you can equip on your players so that no player looks exactly alike when they're out there running on the field. They also showed the kick meter, and it looks pretty much exactly the same as college football 25. The new score bug looks really clean, looks really good. It looks more realistic. So championship celebration was disappointing. I hope that is one of the things that was just in this old version of the game, and that the version that Kirk Benkert played has a newer celebration, because it's pretty much identical with the exception of like a couple of characters looking different or in different positions in the celebration. So hopefully that ends up being different. And lastly, what I saw was recruiting visually looks the same, but now at the top it shows your team needs. So no more having to navigate screen to screen. It'll be right there for you, which is definitely a relief, because that was one headache for me in navigating my dynasty, was having to constantly try to go back, because you can't remember exactly the amount of players you needed at every position. So you would go add players to your recruiting board, but then having to back out to go to this other menu to go look at your team needs yet again and come back. Now you don't have to do that anymore. Once you're going to the prospect list and adding players to your recruiting board, it'll show you your team needs at the top. So all of that, a majority of that looks really good and is really exciting. Some of the stuff is disappointing, but again, I hope it's just disappointing because it's an older version of this game, and that this newer version has a lot more in store. But for the most part, majority of it, I'm gonna say 95% of it looks really good and really impressive. So y'all let me know y'all thoughts and feedback in the comment section. Again, I know I didn't visualize a lot of this stuff in this video. I know I got this college football 25 content playing in the background. But again, if you want to look up any of this, just type whichever one it is that you're looking up in TikTok or on YouTube, and it will pop up. They also have other creators that have done videos like this, actually presenting the stuff in their video. But again, they don't fear having a strike or that video taken down. I do, as I'm still just coming up on the scene. I don't need any strikes on any of my videos or any of my work on my channel. So again, y'all let me know your thoughts and feedback in the comment section. And again, if you're here for the first time or you're returning and you haven't liked or subscribed already, please do so. Click that notification tab so you can stay up to speed with more college football 26 leaks, tips, tricks, updates, whatever. We'll have it in the future, tutorials, everything. So again, I appreciate you all for tuning in. That's been my time. Till next time.